Hey guys, what's going on? Coming at you with an update on our 79 Jeep CJ-7 project. Uh, might notice things are looking a little different. We have the front end and frame from our 79 Jeep, but with our YJ tub sitting on it. And we have the front half of the CJ tub chilling over here. The tub was so rotten that I was able to pretty easily cut it off the frame. With these Jeep body mount bolts, they always spin and they're a real pain in the butt. So a bunch of them weren't really connected anymore. The couple that were was pretty easy to cut through since I didn't care about the floorboards or anything. Cut the back half off first, and then we cut this part off and drug it in here. That way it's out of the weather while I wait for time to be able to get in here and strip it. I want to try and take all the little things out of here. It's going to be a lot of drilling. I want to take the windshield frame off, the door pin posts, the dashboard, the brake pedal, gas pedal, just a bunch of stuff. And a lot of that stuff's not going to want to come out. So we're going to have to do a lot of drilling. You can see I already have the steering column out of it. But yeah, I'm not super confident that the dashboard is going to be usable. You might be able to see all that surface rust and streaking coming from under the dash pad. And the dash pad screws are seized and stripping out. So I'm sure that the dashboard itself is going to be rotten, but at least I'll be able to get in there and get it all out. Sorry if I sound a little under the weather. I am sick, but wanted to give you guys this update because I've been working on the Jeep. I might have said in our last video that I decided I'm going to stick with the original frame. And the reason being, while this frame does have the issues up front with the bumper mounts and in the back where the rear cross member goes, that's been all rotten. The rest of the frame is really solid. Spare for one plate that's on the driver's side rear of the frame. Whereas the other spare frame that I got, both sides, the back of the frame has been handmade out of plate steel. They took 4 pieces of metal and made their own frame. And I just don't trust it. So decided to stick with this. So we got the tub off, cut the old tub off. You can see we just cut the fenders off instead of trying to get down to these bolts. You can see this tub's got some stuff going on here. I don't know what's up with that, but I'm going to use this grill because the other one is obviously rotten in the front and this one looks solid still. So I'm going to stick with that. The driver's side fender, we were able to unbolt and everything from the front. This one has been replaced previously and it looks like they use nuts and bolts. So I got to pop this headlight out to be able to get in there to get this fender off. And then get those 2 fenders put on. I want to, while the body isn't actually mounted or anything, I want to try and make this look as complete as possible while it's sitting here. Just because if it's something that's sitting here and it is clearly all disheveled and in pieces, it's kind of visually demotivating. Whereas if I put, the two fenders on with a couple bolts and the hood on and the windshield frame and everything, the Jeep will it'll look good, and it'll be better. Now for the YJ tub, I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to be sticking with this tub. I'm not going for a restoration here by any means. This thing's going to be, scuff and paint and, might make it look good, but it's going to be something that I 100% I'm going to take off-roading and all that other stuff. So my main plan is get stuff straight-ish, but put those body armor corner pieces in the back and the metal pieces down along the sides. Just so it looks good with minimal work, because I don't really care, because this thing, again, is going to be taken off-road. So that's my main plan. Whether I stick with this YJ tub or I try to find another CJ tub used, or you can buy reproduction tubs. They're like $3,000 to $5,000. We'll have to see. If I go with the reproduction tub, then I will omit the body panels just because it'll be a brand new tub. But we're not spending money on this right now. Right now, we're just trying to see what we have, really figure out what we have, what it needs, and then in the future, we'll think about spending money. But right now, we're just going to get it looking good with what we have and get an idea of what we have to do. The other reason why I am debating a tub change is because while the YJ tub swap is possible, to make things work properly, you do have to modify your top piece here to give you the defrost ducts, because you can see here the defrost on the YJs comes up in these slots, goes into the dashboard and routes around, whereas on the CJs there's just the two holes and it goes right into the windshield frame. You might be able to see those two holes right there. Goes right into the windshield frame, and then the ducts are in the windshield frame itself. So we'd have to do that modification. So we'll have to see. Again, this tub is free. The aftermarket tub is $3,000 to $5,000. A replacement tub is who knows how much and who knows what condition it's going to be. And this tub's really solid. It's got a couple dings and dents, and it does have a patch on the driver's side floorboard. But other than that, it seems really solid. This one, we have to get that column out, because that is a manual transmission non-tilt column. And I have the automatic tilt column to go in it. But I also need to get this dashboard out for a couple reasons. One, we got these hood hinges here, and it looks like they just kind of rammed some bolts in here. And both sides are missing some bolts, and this side is clearly loose, and I don't know if they nut and bolted it and it ripped out or what. So I'm I tried loosening them and they spin. So we got some nuts and bolts going on, but I definitely want to get all of my bolts going in here. So we got to get that out. One perk of the YJ tubs, I do like the YJ windshield washer nozzles, whereas on the CJs, it just has this guy here with two nozzles that would just squirt the windshield or whatever. But yeah. But I did try and get this. I did try and see if this would start. The starter motor, unfortunately, is bad. The relay would click, but the starter wouldn't make any noise. And I tried jumping the starter and it didn't do anything. And I did verify with the ratchet and socket that the engine is very free. It spins over. So our starter motor's bad, but gotta go through. We got a lot of aftermarket wiring and zip ties and spaghetti going on here, and I want to put a GM HEI distributor in here instead of the factory computer controlled distributor. So get that all done. But we're going to go with the power brakes. We're going to go with the tilt column. It's obviously a 4.2 straight 6. It's got what looks like a Mopar automatic transmission, and it has a Dana 300 transfer case, and the rear drive shaft has a double cardan joint on it at the transfer case end, and from what I've been seeing, that's a popular upgrade. So someone's been in here. This was probably someone's toy at one point. You know, we have the gas tank skid plate over there, and it looks relatively new. But the other thing I noticed, I got, the 1-ton axles that came with it, but I also came with another set of stock axles. And I noticed the one in here, the leaf spring bolts aren't tight. They just put the bolts in and started the nuts. The steering wasn't hooked up when I got it. The sway bar is just sitting there. The brakes aren't connected. And I noticed that it has the 5-bolt hubs. And the spare differential I got for the front has the 6-bolt. Jeep used 6-bolt hubs until 82. And they switched to the 5-bolt. At the same time, they went from the narrow track to the wide track axles. And I noticed that this differential, the pinion yoke is blown up, moves, and is really sloppy. So I'm thinking what happened, they blew up this diff, and they had an 82 to 86 CJ-7 parts vehicle or something that the grill, windshield, fenders, hood, maybe this tub was on it because the paint on the hinges matches the frame and matches the dashboard and everything and the doors. But they had this frame on that spare frame, and they harvested the axles out of it because the frame was bad. So they put the front axle in this one and just never finished hooking it up. I don't know, but that having the wide track axles is good. That's the axles that I would want to have instead of the narrow tracks. So I'm going to want to get the wide track rear axle put in, especially because also, you know, I doubt the gear ratio is the same, so got to get the other axle in there anyway so that it matches. But so we're going to have the wide track axles. Down the road, maybe we'll do the 1-tons, but for now, I just kind of want to get it going as stock, and then we'll do the big upgrades later. The other indication that all this stuff came from the same rig is that the speedometer in the dashboard on this YJ tub has a 6-digit VIN, or a 6-digit odometer, which they started using in 82, whereas from 76 to 81, they had the 5-digit odometers. So, yeah, so all that snooping, we got a really good Jeep here. I'm sure this engine's gonna run, but we just gotta get the stuff that we don't want out of it, get it looking pretty complete. You know, once I get the dashboard out of here and get the hood hinge situation sorted out, then I'll put that windshield frame back in. You know, decide what I'm going to use. I'm going to use the 6-digit odometer speedo, just because I like having the 6 digits compared to the 5. Not that there's original mileage that matters on this anyway. But yeah, so get it all looking complete. Again, not going to worry about bolting down the body. The other thing I did before we put the body on is I power washed this frame inside and out. This thing was like driven underwater in quicksand or something, because there was sand packed everywhere. I mean, you could see even after all the power washing, there's still some baked on sand on the fuel pump, down there on the motor mount area. But the inside of this frame was completely full of sand, and I wound up getting a $40 sewer jetter kit off of Amazon. And since the rear cross member was off of the frame, I could just run the sewer jetter from back to front, and just took an hour and a half, kept at it until the water was running clear. And now the frame's clean on the inside. Took the power washer, power washed the outside, and this frame's looking really good. All of the body mounts are solid except for one in the rear on the driver's side, which isn't a big deal because if I am going with the YJ swap, I have to move those body mounts anyway, and the spare frame that I have has good body mounts on it that I can harvest and reuse. But yeah, a lot going on. Sorry if, you know, me talking and everything, it sounds a little rough, but yeah. So there's the update, guys. And catch you on the next one.